guys, it's me, it's Helen Yom Tov, and it's lovely to be amongst you once again, and I feel a little bit more energised and what have you since I saw you last. You know, I've got various amounts of news to pass on, but you know, at the end of the day, you know, you've always got to look on the bright side of life, don't you? I do. I think you have to. Because what's the alternative, you know? So, as the great boys in Monty Python said, always look on the bright side of life. In fact, it was Eric Idle, really, wasn't it? Fantastic film, that Life of Brian. I mean, I must admit, I love Monty Python just as much as I do Star Trek. Growing up with both of them when I was little. Anywho, I wanted to thank everybody who had messaged me and left comments since the last video. I love each and every one of you. Thank you so much for caring about me. I have deliberately waited this long before doing a video because I've had to have some more tests and I've had to have a CT scan. And anyway, the most important of all those tests was the CT scan, which wasn't until last week. Now, I had a CT scan once before, but it was on my head years ago. And it certainly was nothing like this one. A CT scan to do what they did on me, which was thorax, abdomen and pelvis. You go through this tube. It's not as confining as an MRI tube, but you go through this tube, right? And yes, I'm still smoking. Don't shout. I will give it up, but I'm just not ready to give it up at the moment. That's all. So you lie in this tube and you try and put your hands above your head. And then you put, like I say, pushed in. And then you get a cannula in your arm. And what they do is they flush warm salt water through the cannula first. So you feel that. And then they flush this dye right through you. And it was the weirdest sensation in the world. It was like lying in a nice hot bath. How can I put this? At the same time as if you've had a wee. Like lying in a warm bath while you're busy having a wee. I know it sounds really weird and really, really gross, but that's how this CT scan worked for me. So anyway, I had this flipping great big bandage going right across the inside of my arm. Left a big bruise as well, I may tell you. So I had to wait for the results of that. And all my other results and that, from what they call the Hair 2 results, I had to wait for them today. Anyway, they were late phoning me, but that's what they've been doing since the pandemic. Instead of having people in face-to-face, they've been doing phone consultations. So that's what I've had up to now, but my next consultation is face-to-face and in a different hospital, under a different oncologist. I'm under 2 oncologists at the hospital I'm at the moment, but I then have to go under another oncologist in the next hospital I go to. What a palaver. So anyway, I got those results today. The good news is that for the moment the cancer hasn't spread, so that's a good thing. It's concentrated in Madame Booby-Doo here, and in my armpit as well. So this is going to sound very confusing to you, and I'm going to try and explain it, and hopefully it will make some more sense to me, because I only got the news of a few hours ago, and I'm still processing it, you know. Anyway, normally when you have breast cancer, what they do is they, if it's just a lumpectomy, they'll find the cancer, go in, pull the lumps out, destroy them, and then that's it. They stitch you up and you can go home. With other kinds of breast cancer or any other kind of cancer, normally what they do is they give you chemotherapy. If there's any surgery to be performed, you go through that, and then it's radiotherapy. In my case, apparently chemotherapy in its standard form is totally ineffective against the kind of cancer that I have. Trust me to be different. It's one of the most horrendous diseases in the world. Anybody hears the cancer word and you just go cold, don't you? And I know this sounds a bit back to front, but now I feel I can look other cancer patients in the eye, because I've like often thought over the years, I couldn't be as strong as them. Look how strong they have to be to get through that, and is there any guarantee that they're going to get through it, So, my brother didn't get through his, but he was stage 4 by the time they found his cancer. And it was COVID that killed him in the end. The cancer was going to kill him, but the COVID just took over. And that was that. But in my case, giving me what they call, I don't know if any of you have heard of a bleach called Domestos, or a bleach, right? So say cancer is a bleach, and they pump it into you, but it affects your immune system. So instead of, say, going in and hitting your breast, it hits everywhere. Sorry, I've got the most awful sensitive nose and eyes today. But it's totally ineffectual against the cancer that I have. So what they're going to do is they're going to do things turned around. Normally what they do is they will do chemo, then surgery, then radiotherapy, and then they give you a drug called letrozole. And you can be on that for 5 to 10 years to make sure the cancer doesn't come back, right? But in my case, they are giving me letrozole to begin with. And they're going to see how I am on that. It's like the first step of cancer drugs that I'm going to be taking. The letrozole on its own is going to act like a fence, and it's going to fence off the cancer in my breast and in my armpit, and it's going to stop it spreading. That's the main aim of that one, and to try and see if they can make it any smaller. But to ensure that, I start taking that to begin with. And then when I go and see this other oncologist, they are going to give me 2 other drugs on top of the letrozole. And I've been told it is chemotherapy, but in targeted tablet form. So it will just immediately go to where the cancer is. It won't go anywhere else. It won't go to my lungs or my kidneys, liver, anywhere like that. It'll just go straight to my breast and to my armpit. And those other drugs, what they're aiming to do is to, because it's estrogen sensitive, it's going to stop the cancer feeding on any estrogen in my body, So it's going to kill off all the estrogen in my body. It's going to sort of make me go through the menopause again. Oh God, I've just realised that probably means double the amount of chin hairs. I'll probably have to shave every day. Who knew? And so that's what it's going to do. It's going to try and starve the cancer and make the cancer sort of eat itself and get it to a certain size, because they can only get it down to a certain size. And that's when they go in and they remove my breasts. Now, what he said was, if I understood it correctly, sometimes they can just do a partial sort of surgery on the breast. But in my case, it definitely would mean them taking it away. Complete radical mastectomy. Once I've healed from that, I then have to have radiotherapy on my chest wall. Now, I have read online, called the UK sites, it can be 5 days a week for 6 weeks. How true of that it is, I don't know. I'm only going to find out when I get to that stage. But the targeted drugs that they're going to give me, it's going to take, the first 3 months is to see if I'm tolerating it. And then the next sort of 3 to 9 months is concentrating on, with these, like the 3 drugs combined, will really zap it. Get it out, get the cancer sort of like ring fenced off and starved. Like I said, so like they can remove it. Now, as we know, when you get ordinary chemo, falls out and what have you. With this first drug, my hair can thin. With the next drugs, which I don't know what they are yet, and I'll tell you once I find out, because I should be going to that next hospital, the Freeman, in less than 2 weeks' time, because they're trying to get me the first appointment that's available to get me to see the oncologist there. I would imagine it's highly likely that the combination of those drugs will make my hair fall out. So at the moment, I'm not going to shave it off. I'm just going to get it styled and bleached and done steel silver the way I planned anyway this weekend. If I wake up one day and I find that I've left the whole of the back of my head lying on the pillow, I won't like that very much, because I'm not going to walk around with a bonnet on my head, with the back of my bonnets bare and the front just framing everything. That's just going to be out the window. It doesn't go with my brand. So if that happens, then I'm going to call up my friend Helen, and she's my stylist, and I'm going to call her up and ask her to come over and shave my head. And then I've got Wiggy. Now, depending on how long the hair loss is going to last for, I just don't know. I really don't know. And the thing is, I'll probably only wear Wiggy for maybe videos. I might just wear a headscarf or whatever. I'll show you my bald head if you want. I don't mind. If you want to see my bald head, just put your hands up. You tell me you want to see my bald head. I'll do that. I don't care. I don't mind at all. Plenty of other people do it. People without cancer have bald heads. And, women, especially women. And, I mean, you can't exactly call today's look my crowning glory. I was going to blow dry my hair today. This is my hair without any of the creams and the oils and stuff like that on it. My hair was never this curly. Never. My hair was sort of soft, an occasional wave. And now, look at it. I know people would kill the hair like mine, but you know what? Just take it. And if I shave it off, I'll just donate it. And someone somewhere might be able to use it for someone, because that's what I'm going to do. When I shave it, or when I find piles of it, I'm just going to gently gather it up, and then I'm going to find out who I need to donate it to, and then they can make a wig for someone else. So that's where we are on the cancer front. As you can see, I'm trying to stay positive. The good news is that it hasn't spread at the moment. Because that was really, really worrying me, as you can imagine. But it's localised, and I'll be really honest with you. My boob is a size and a half bigger than the other one now. And I've got big girls. But this one on the left here is just... I find myself sitting, resting my arm on it. Because it's like with this one, it's like down there. But, I mean, not on my knees or anything, But with this one, it's like... And it's just that swollen. And I'm starting to have pain in it now. So the sooner they start this treatment, the better, as far as I'm concerned. And I hope they make a case study out of me, because inflammatory breast cancer is incredibly rare. Of all the breast cancers, that and Paget's disease of the breast, I believe. They are the two rarest breast cancers. And it could, you know what, guys, it could only happen to me. Honestly, when I was at school, I was often called tithead. Or, look, you're such a tit. And yeah, it could only happen to me. So, what can I tell you? But I'm not going to... I did have a little moment of, why me? And then I thought, well, why not you? Because then they can study you. Well, my God, if they studied me, I'd never get out of the hospital, would I? They can study it and how it forms and how it progresses and what's the best way to kill it. And they'll come up with some concoction for me, because apparently this has got to be tailor-made to fit my particular cancer. Hopefully, from me, they might find some kind of quick cure for the next person who ends up having it. Because at the moment, nobody knows what triggers it. It just happens. And it is the nasty thing about it is that it spreads so quickly. And it's spread so fast round my booby-doo, is that it bears no resemblance to what it first looked like. She, honest to God, she looks like something off Dr. Frankenstein's table. Really. I'll take a bit of this and a bit of that and something else, stitch it up, and it's horrendous, it's horrific. So, I was going to talk to you about something else. Yes, Pride Month. It's Pride Month, as you can tell, so happy Pride, everybody. And I've got my pink nails on, so I hope you'll like them. I know they're very pale. They're quite pale pink. But I've got pink nails on and I've got my top on. So I just wanted to wish everybody a very, very happy Pride Month. And as some of you may not know who are new here, I have a wonderful son who is gay, and he's just the best. And I couldn't ask for a better son than him. And the day that he came out, he was 15, and I remember him telling me that he was gay, and I was just, well, if I thought I loved you before, I love you even more now. So, you know, I just do. And, you know, I just want, it would be nice one day if you could find someone that will love him. And, well, because I'm his mum, you know, I want somebody good enough for him, you know. But then again, he's got to be just as nice to them, you know. If they are good to him, then he's got to be just as nice to them, because I've made that very clear. I'm not one of those mums that's only ever sees things through their children's eyes and can never see through the partner's side. It's really hard, but sometimes, especially when, you know, it's not, the ground's not clear, sometimes you've got to take a step back and think, right, this is my child, what are they like, how do they respond to things, you know, what's happened to cause this. And sometimes you've either got to back off or try and act as mediator. And as if you love them, if you happen to love the partner as well, it can be very, very difficult. And I can only imagine that. So, what can I tell you? What else did I want to say to you this week? Oh yes, I wanted to say that I am extremely proud of our Queen. I am so proud of our Queen. God bless you, ma'am. She has finally stood up to those two brats in Montecito over the lies that they've been telling, and to call their baby Her Majesty's particular pet name, that was unforgivable. And you know something? I thoroughly believe that she was behind it. I don't think Harry's bright enough to be behind something like that, because he grew up in that background. He knows what was what. When we lost Prince Philip, and that was awful. You know, Prince Philip was there all my life. And the last time I saw him, it was so clear he was dying. And I often wonder, that interview they did with Oprah, they could have asked for that to be cancelled or postponed while his grandfather was so dreadfully ill. You know, 99 years old. I know that's really old, but come on, have a heart. Now, it's either Oprah has no heart, or they don't have a heart, or none of them have a heart. I don't know which. But no good will come of this. And to come out with the racism stuff, look, I've had to learn an awful lot about racism from our lovely Daphne. And, you know, there's sometimes racism that you just don't see. And I'm having my eyes wide open to it, okay? It's like, if you're not Jewish, then you won't see anti-Semitism. You know, what you might think is just that's a throwaway remark can be very, very hurtful to somebody like me. But the racism remarks, there's no. I'll tell you something, the Queen Mother, she could be racist. Absolutely, she could be racist. And there's no way Harry would have dared bring Meghan home if the Queen Mother had been alive. She could be a formidable old bag, that woman. But the Queen, not at all racist. No way. She hasn't got a racist bone in her body. And neither did Prince Philip. He was fighting for Maori rights in the 1950s. Not many people know that. But he wrote to, I think it was the Prime Minister of New Zealand, and demanded that the Maori should have more rights. I mean, when you think about it, why should Prince Philip have cared? He was thousands and thousands of miles away in the UK. It's not as if he was going to see them very often. But he was a man who deeply cared about his fellow man. And everybody thinks he's just this daft old bugger who comes out with gaffes and what have you. Sometimes he did it just to break the ice. And it was just his way. But of course, you can't say things like that anymore because it's not politically correct to say certain things. And sometimes I think political correctness has gone crazy. It's on its head. But don't get me started on that one. As for the thing about the talk about Archie's skin, which was that? Did this conversation happen when she was pregnant, or did it happen before she got pregnant? Which is it? Which way round is it? It's not any way round because it was a lie. And it was Princess Anne who had said months before about that one being a wrong fit for the royal family. That was all. And it was a case of, when the baby comes, who's he going to take after? Innocent remark. But that one twisted it to make it sound worse than it was. So everyone, she would be a victim. And wasn't she a victim for a while? Until we were married for 3 days, before we got married in St. George's Chapel. Oh, yes. Yeah, the Archbishop of Canterbury's a criminal and broke the law. And she's squatting up and down, 8 months pregnant in a chicken coop. I thought pregnant women weren't allowed near chickens. Or am I being just a little bit contentious there? I don't believe in conspiracy theories, but I have never known anybody's pregnancy go up and down and up and down and up and down like an inflatable doll. Anyway, that's just me being naughty. I'm just being naughty. So, I'm very, very proud of our Queen. Long may she reign. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with Charles, but I've only ever known the Queen. And I don't think she's got that much longer, God love her. And I'm really glad that she stood up to those two and said, we're not going to tolerate your lies any longer. Because that one would have wanted to merch Lilibet clothing. Get Lilibet Diana things here. She would have merched that little girl like there was no tomorrow. So I'm glad that, maybe some of our little deals might not come to fruition. I'll be quite happy if that doesn't happen. So, what's on the calendar? I'm not going to lie. I am having pain in my breast. Sometimes it's like my breast gets very hot and it is swelling. and it stabs. And so does my armpit. And the funny thing is, a couple of weeks ago I wasn't getting much in the way of pain, but I am now. I did tell him that today and he just went, yeah. I don't know what kind of means in medical terms. If anybody can tell me, please leave in the comments below. What was I going to say? I'm not quite sure what to come back with when I read something to you. I know I owe our Michael Turknett a reading, but Michael, if you're out there, love, can you let me know when and where and how you'd like me to do that for you, because I haven't forgotten. If anybody wants a reading, let me know. It can be done in private or in public. If anybody wants a reading about anything else, you know, the royals or anything like that, let me know. I'll do my best. Because while I've been away, I've been practicing my tarot even more. And I've managed to speed things up a little bit. You'd be happy to hear. I must be the only tarot reader that can send people to sleep. What else was I going to say? Sorry, excuse me. I'm having a rum and coke because I felt like it. What else? I'm not quite sure what story to start off next with you. I'm going to have to get back in the game. But I think what I need to start using are the discussions, and leave your comment there. So if you look for my videos, you might find a comment where I'm asking for anything, or a vote on something, or like that, you know. So if you want me to start this week and reading you a story, do you want to tell me, or do you just want me to surprise you? I've got this awful feeling you're just going to wait for me to surprise you, aren't you? I know, I can feel it. It's all go on surprises. You know, we'll wait and see what she comes up with. Right, I'll see what I can do. But if there's something in particular you want, you have to speak up and let me know. Because remember, this is your place and you have every right to ask for things. And if I can provide it, I will. Right? So I'm going to end it here. And I know I'm doing everything back to front, but I want to wish a very warm welcome to anybody who is new. Hello, welcome to the Haven. We are a very, very friendly bunch of people, and you can see by all the past videos and live streams that we've had that we all get on particularly well. You know, and we're all very, very supportive bunch. We do, we're very supportive of each other. What else? Oh yes. Honestly, I get worse. Welcome to the rest of you who have been here in the middle and from the beginning and what have you. Welcome to everybody. Honestly, you know, the talk about doing editing and what have you. And yes, I've got a video editor now, but I don't use it. I don't bother. You're just going to get all the ums and ahs and everything left in, because it wouldn't be a video from me if it didn't have those things in, would it? You know? So, anywho, I'm going to love you and leave you now. and I'm going to, I think I'm going to have some dinner, because it's late here, it's after 9. I should have eaten earlier and I haven't, and it's been a long day, you know, so I'll see you again soon, guys, with your reading surprise, of which subject we're not quite sure. Okay? So, anyway, I love you all. Please take care of yourselves. And happy Pride to all my lovely friends of the LGBTQTIA plus community. Yes, I think I got it right. I do. I love you all. And I will see you again in the next one. Whether you're gay, whether you're straight, whether you're tall, whether you're small, whether you sing or whether you dance, doesn't matter to me because I love you all. I think I've had a couple of drinks too many. That's probably why I'm feeling so giggly. Right, shh, going now. Take care. See you again soon. Bye for now. Bye. Bye.